So. Kita nak bercerita ni. Cerita apa? Rahsia. Welcome. I'm Iki Ali.
I'm Sa Ali,
And we are Brothers Ali.
and today we're going to be reviewing Rahsia.
Rahsia.
Alright,
So Rahsia means secret.
yeah.
So it's a remake.
Alright,
Of
of a 1987 film.
directed by Othman Hafsham. And this remake is directed by the original director's son, Shamyl Othman.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I think this movie is a pretty fun watch.
Yes.
I don't think like it's the best movies out there, but I think for the typical horror movie goers, you're gonna enjoy this. I don't think this is like anything, what do you call it, that groundbreaking, but at the same time it's not like the worst of the worst out there. It's like
Yes.
one of the decent ones.
Yes.
I mean, the scares are pretty nice. The acting are like really good all around, except for one actor who's a little bit stiff, but I guess like he fits for
The kind of character he is. Is it
The
you want to guess?
huh
Which one? Okay, I guess
the only character you know is
Alright, I'm just gonna follow through. Alright, So yeah, talking about fun. This is a fun tidbit for you. Other than being the son of the original movie's director, he also mainly does comedy.
oh okay.
For example, Kami Hysteria, and I think our favorite movie, Rembat.
Oh
Yeah.
oh that same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a Rembat is a pretty intense movie. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. We're gonna chill for it a little bit. So it's about two people is like getting into a very intense football betting scene and shit, she is definitely real
They
good,
have to
so,
pay back their debt or something.
Yeah, they or the dad were gangster or something. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good movie. Go watch it. Rembat, very good.
So
Alright,
what
so back to this movie.
I can see, and that you say that director, like let's put in a placebo here, right?
Yes.
I can see that the director really knows his what the project entails. For this one, not only does he have to make a remake, he has to continue his father's legacy, and at the same time he has to like properly give out like a good product for the fans.
Yes.
And this, I think, does all of that pretty well. Like one of the good aspects of the movie that I can see is like the really gorgeous cinematography.
Oh man, it's very nice.
The location is really good, and there's like a certain compound, like a certain perimeter of area that you can see here, and there are like, unlike the original, there are way less people here, like significantly way less. Like, I mean, oh no, sorry. What I mean by that is that in the original movie, you see more people going around for the most part of the movie.
Because it's more like one of the characters in the original is like a socially active kind of guy. So it's
Yeah.
like going around like that's like he talks to people and everything. All the all the VIPs and shit.
Yeah. So he's a professor, right? In the original one. In this one, this is why I say it's kinda ass. like kind of like in a weird way, the director kind of wants to like mess with him too. In this one, this character Hamdan, which is the father, in the case of this family, right?
Yeah. Played by Fikri Ibrahim in this remake, and originally was played by Shukri Hashim, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, we were pretty big before. So this is like kind of like the synopsis of this movie for this one. So there is like a famous dato, a very wealthy person, right? So like he has a like kind of an estranged daughter, that pseudo estranged. I mean, like she kind of like have a problem with him, which is why he doesn't see his father all see her father all that much. But now she decided that it's time to come back. So she come to like a vacation, right, with her entire family. So there's her Ramla, is
Ramlah,
her name.
played by
Um,
Nabila Huda.
and his
Her?
husband, and then they have like two children, one a girl, one boy. So they came in. So the thing is, the father this time around, they make him a startup company guy.
Yeah.
So you know, like when I said that it's like it's not nothing groundbreaking, right? So it follow a lot of conventions of a typical horror story, and a typical one, we know that's that one dumb character that does dumb things, and then you kind of want to punch them. So Hamdan is that guy. Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
know what is it. I just kind of want to pile on a bit. I don't think the actor is that good. At the same time, somehow the director or the writer wants to make him instead of a professor. Oh, by the way, we don't know what is a professor of.
Yeah,
Like
no, it was never stated at
like
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: before there was like a 1980s movie called Changeling, which a lot of people speculate that the original Rahsia is based on, and in that movie, the professor is a professor of a musical professor, right? But in the movie Rahsia of 87, that's just a professor. We don't even know professor of what. And now he's even less. That is a startup company guy.
But at least, startup company can be anything. So the
Yeah.
vagueness helps. Whereas in the original, you need some sort of like, some sort of some sort of like hook to the character to portray his like competency in solving the shits that going on around him, the mystery that surrounds him. Yeah, but this time it's just yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the wife's turn to be the spotlight. So yeah.
So like at one point, right? The family gather around to have dinner, right? And the what happened before is when they just got there, one of the kids, the boy, started his sister, right? So they broke a vase, and the vase belongs to their grandmother, right?
Yeah.
So when they had dinner, and the mood was pretty down. So the kid is like, "Hey, grandpa, play me some music." Oh yeah, by the way, it's his birthday. That is the was it like one of their birthdays? Is it the grandpa's birthday
It's the
or the
grandpa's
kids?
birthday.
Oh, the grandpa's birthday. Yeah, probably one of the reasons why they came at that time. So they go to the other area. They go out from the dining area. They go to the place where there's like the piano, and his father start to play this really haunting song, and it's really good. And here's the problem that I have with the movie. So it like as the title entails, like there's like some sort of secret, right?
Yes.
But the problem is, the good thing is when it reveals like, yeah, we're uncovering a secret little by little. But the problem is, it does so with a bunch of flashbacks. Not the flashbacks being a problem. It's just that there's like a reverb sound back and fro from flashback to the current time that is like kind of distracting,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
which like
Too fancy, yeah.
contributes a lot to the problem that I have personally with the sound design. Okay, now so that scene is really good, and the song is kind of haunting, and apparently it's a favorite song that was made by the grandma. That she used to sing that,
Yes.
and as the kids start to be more like open to that, like wow, let's talk more about grandma. And then the mother starts to intervene. So it shows that there's kind of like a secret problem that she has with her mother, right?
Yeah.
With their grandma. So they cut all that thing short, and then fast forward the next day, they went
A
to
picnic.
a picnic,
Just like the original movie.
yeah, in the beach. But what I like about this one is because, like I said, when I mentioned there's not much people around, I think this time around is a private beach. This is a very beautiful and serene beach, by the
So
way.
yeah, the dude's very rich. The grandpa's
So there's
very rich.
nobody here, you know. I don't want to compare too much to the original one, but what I would say is this: the original one have like a really dumb scene in the beach that caused the children to be one of the child to go through something.
Yeah.
And in this one, how they address it is way more believable. So the
Yes.
father, the genius startup company boy, got a call, and I can relate to what he's doing. It's just that it's kind of like concerning, being that I'm a bachelor but he's a father, right? So here's where the difference is. So what some people do, when they take a call, they start to meander, they start to walk around, and then they start to like, they don't just sit at one place while they talk. So the father turned away, right? They don't look at, he was supposed to be in charge of the boy. And then the boy somehow got kidnapped by an entity. So after that, that's where all the weird shit ensues. And the thing is, that scene was pretty like scary too. Like
Yes.
like way more believable than what have happened in the original one. So at the same time, where the kid is like in the midst of being lost, the sister end up being bloodied with like a scattered like the amount of like
A murder of crows.
a murder
actually.
of crows, right?
Yeah, I want to see that. Yes. A murder of crows.
And then the grandpa start to have like a heart attack. So you can see that they're very split. The father and the mother, they panic to don't know which way to go, and then end up being the son is lost. He is no longer there, right?
Right.
So yeah, the movie is, I think the movie mostly focuses on the mother, where she's like very like distraught by the whole experience, and she's trying to
Keep it together.
keep it together while trying to get back to a child.
All right. So, this is a big difference between the two. You have the same story beats and the same elements, like recognizable elements, which I cannot spoil because those like big part of both Rahsia movies. This one is, I guess this is more supernatural than the original. The original was just like very vague and
Yeah.
supernatural thriller-ish, but it's not really supernatural because I don't know, maybe it's a budget thing. They cannot really show like ghost effects or whatever, so they're going the vague shamanism stuff or whatever, and also there's like more corporate mumbo jumbo and unneeded soap opera dramas in the original. This one just yank those out and make it a full-on supernatural horror movie. So I could say, and I did say it in our live review with Baswap, wink wink, I did say this. This is the pengabdi setan reputification of Rahsia. Yes, I'm gonna say it again. That's because it has like even some of the camera works and the inspired look and all the lighting feels similar, but this is in the mood of the original Rahsia. So it's very nice how they just turn everything from like a vague supernatural thriller into a full-on supernatural horror. So yeah, kudos.
Yeah, that's what's interesting too. The movie is more supernatural, but there's more drama and it's very melancholic.
And yeah, it feels earned. The drama feels earned compared to the original.
And
yeah.
somehow it's more grounded. In the original one, there's not much like talking to authorities. There's no police and everything. This movie, there's police involved. A kid is lost, right? So of course the police gonna be involved. There's a hospital scene too. Like
Yes.
that is very scary by the way.
Shit,
And then
man,
like,
that's like
dude,
wow.
that is gory. One of the goriest death I think, in cinema history, and I'm not exaggerating.
And it's 13 rated, man. What
Man.
imagine if it's 16 or 18,
Well,
man.
it's really good.
Imagine.
I mean,
Imagine the rating.
it's not just the gore itself. It's if you really think about what's happening, right? It's very, very like it's excruciating pain. You know,
Yes.
there's like
Hello, this part is simply Sai Ali pseudo spoiling the scene and post-production key don't have a clue how to cut this out without making the flow awkward. Thank you.
a bit
But
of
yeah,
a boss.
it's glorious to see a 13 rated movie
God.
can do that
And
kind
then
of
the
horrific death.
ending is like, wah. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the ending of that scene, by the way.
Oh,
And yeah, after that, the mother like wails even further, and it's very like,
Descend into madness, kind of.
yeah, like things got worse. And the thing is, you know, that's the thing. Like, this movie is very much so believable in the sense that you know how I like characters every character to do, you know, to do something, right? So even if I criticize the father, at least the father is like go on this a search party to find for the child.
Yeah.
So okay, now I want to talk back about the sound problem. So the movie it doesn't have like it's not a bad sound engineering in terms of like um technical what do you call it thing, prowess. It's about technical efficiency. What I mean by that is it's not a lack of skill. It's that they choose like they choose like kind of like, to me, a bad choice of like going for, you know, the sound design. Like for one, there's too many songs playing around scenes, and when it doesn't play, it's one of those like typically lame thing that the conventional horror movies do, where suddenly there's no music anymore, and then give it like 10 seconds, boom, things scream at you, right? So yeah, there's jump scares in the movie.
And it's cheap, man.
Yeah, they're cheap. But the scares in of itself, like in terms of the atmosphere and the yeah, mostly it's just the atmosphere. And the sound, when it's right, when it's done right, it's very, what do you call it thing, effective. But the problem what I have is, so things happen in his house, right? So it's a mansion, but doesn't change the fact that it's a house. So the house is although I can get why there would be like a bunch of echo going around. It's not like the house is not fully furnished. So the problem I have with the movie personally is, okay, one, there's music almost all the time. Second, when they do flashbacks, there's reverb sounds. And third is when there's so many echoing sounds. It's like when like a bunch of furniture being moved, things breaking, everything. It sounds really like there's a lot of echo, you know. Like there's some kind of like amateur brother reviewers in a room that has no foam, like, for example. So it's really echoey. But there's that one particular sound where it's like a thud. That's the one thing that's effective. But it's just somewhere in the movie I can't say where specifically, because I can't really pinpoint, because I will watch it only once. And I think that's like, yeah, the jump scares and the sound is where the problem stops. Oh yeah, maybe the a little bit of weakness here and there in terms of like the father, the character Hamdan. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the other positives?
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna repeat this point but a little bit further. So, in terms of the competency of the cinematography, yeah, this is like a modern take in every sense of the word, because the camera is very sleek, the editing is very nice, very clean, nothing choppy, nothing jumpy.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
very clean.
Beautiful.
And this is in contrast to a supposedly original premise of a previous horror movie that I saw, which is like released sometime this year. I saw it, and maybe I will do a therapy session on it. Maybe, I don't know. So the movie is called Jemputan ke Neraka. So yeah, that movie feels like a relic from the year of the original Rahsia. But there is a movie of this time with like even modern technology they use like smartphones, everything. All of that is clearly this era, but the way it was shot, the way it was told, it was like, and even yeah, I'm not gonna shit on it too much. I'm gonna shit on it that that review. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It feels like an old movie. It doesn't need to be, because the story feels like a modern story, but the interpretation is terrible there. But this one, it is thought to improve upon everything that is wrong with the original Rahsia, and make it palatable to us modern audiences. So very nice. I love that. But yeah, in terms of the law, this is, I'm a bit of a split here, because despite what I said about having too much, I don't know, like what do you call that? Too much corporate intrigue and melodrama or whatever. Like, I wish there's a little bit more like fleshed out, because still some things are still big in this new version of.
There's corporate stuff in here too. I don't remember.
There's none. That is my problem, because it's just like a bunch of pictures and that's it.
You mean the old one is
The old one has
have about corporate stuff. This
Yeah.
one has none.
this one has none. I wish it was like a balance of between not having between having a new story and also a little bit of some of the background detail of the old one, because this one feels too clean in terms of that. It needs a little bit of baggage. Is what I say. It needs that.
I disagree, because I don't think the corporate stuff is necessary, because the old one is used as a like a vehicle to try to talk about the common ills of like people nowadays, in the year of 87. And also it tries to be like a bit preachy about a bunch of stuff, and it was to show like, oh, look at all these people, they are corrupt, they play with women, they don't care if people die, they try to store away money from themselves. And I think that those plot lines doesn't really matter, doesn't contribute to the core of the story. Maybe there's a little bit more to build up the character of like the Datuk's father, like on the original one. On this one, the Datuk is the family of the so I think that was muddled, and I glad they they get rid of that. I totally disagree with you on this point.
It's okay. Yeah, but yeah, I just wish
Dude, let's talk about the makeup, man.
more.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
The movie, mind you, don't have that much. Does it have CGI? I don't think maybe some touch ups, but I don't think.
Yeah, it's all, maybe most of it are touch ups. There's
Yeah.
not like all CGI shit.
A lot of it are practical effects.
Yeah.
And it's not like a spoiler, but if you watch the movie at one point, you will see the entity. And I don't know how to describe it. Like, okay, I never saw an entity like that, a supernatural entity in front of my eyes. But I think when I saw that thing in the movie, it feels like that's what I would feel if I saw one like for the first time. My bulu roma naik, my I
We
feel
got goosebumps.
I got goosebumps. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It feels like, it's right there with me, and it's pretty scary that I'm stuck with that thing, and that's all practical effects. I mean, a lot of I know there's a lot of like psychological horror out there, and they're really good. Don't get me wrong. And a lot of the premise is talking about a lot of people. Their takeaway from these movies are like, oh, that's why these things are scary, because you don't see them, you don't know them. But in this case, the case of this movie, you get to know these things, and you get to see that thing. But unlike like the cheap movies that I've seen in the past, right? This is actually really competently made. The design, the makeup of that thing actually looks scary. I'm really scared.
And it goes hand in hand with the set design as well. I mean, the place where the entity resides also is very, very, yeah, it's very well made. Yeah.
The place is like dirty, dingy, and there's like a lot of hocus pocus going on there.
Yeah.
It feels very lived in,
Yes.
but not by humans, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And yeah, this is just good. And also, you know, the one who played the mom character, Ramla, played by Nabila Huda, who was originally, the character was originally played by Nur Kumalasari, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's very good.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of people like in Malaysia who's a big fan of her, and I think you can just add this to the list to like one of the more reasons to like her, I guess.
She's been around actually. So
Yeah, like she's like super good in this one. She plays an excellent mother. She is like totally a lioness looking out for her cubs, and it's like heartbreaking when things start to, you know, happen in a family that is like just the universe yanking away all that she held dear and what she stood for. And I think it's a very heartfelt movie, and because of the lack of time they waste on stupid corporate bullshit in the original one, in this one they focus more on the family, and it's very like everything, you can soak everything in and you can feel for family. Yeah, the core is the family, and I think if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have this hauntingly beautiful story. And I think the movie, like, yeah, I know I prefaced before, I don't want to compare it to the original movie, but I think at this point it's kind of unavoidable. For one, I already go ahead and say a lot of those things, and for second is the remake, right? Of course people are gonna compare, and I'm one of them too. Like, this movie does all of the iconic things. Okay, if you want to
wait,
watch,
before you go there, wanna talk about the grandma?
oh god, the grandma.
Yes. Go ahead.
The grandma is played by Marsha.
Marsha Milan Londo.
Yeah, and she started off just as a singer in a
Reality
show
TV.
called reality, I think Academy Fantasia 2. Something
I
is
think
season,
what
what season was it?
one, I can't remember which season, but yeah.
Yeah, but she's kind of like I think she's kind of a terrible singer that got far for some reason.
and actor, I guess.
No, she's not. Is she?
Yeah, she is. For a while, she's an.
No,
Yeah,
no. What I mean by that is, okay. If you don't know, if you're not a Malaysian, so in Malaysia, there's like okay, doesn't matter if a person join an entertainment industry, right? So let's say they become an actor first, right? What they are going to become next, right? It doesn't matter which one, but eventually they're gonna meet up and they become like all of it, right? So let's say this person starts to go singing, right? So they sing for a while, and then they act, and then they start to host a bunch of TV programs, and they have to do this and that, blah 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 blah. But in Malaysia, these famous people, we don't call them actors, we don't call them singers. Some people call them celebrities, but a lot of people call them artists. Like, some of them don't even do art. What I mean by that is, yeah, they act, they sing, but they can't act for shit. They sing awful tunes and usually just cover people's songs. They don't write their own songs. They don't do art. They're terrible. So I usually call them, I'm one of the people who call them celebrities. So Masha is just another artist, like as Malaysians like to call them. So she did dabble in acting at one point, and she's terrible. Of course, because she's not an actor. She starts career as a singer in a stupid reality show.
Hi, post-production Nikki here. In regards to Marsha, yeah, it's a bit inaccurate. I'm not siding on her on this one, but it's just, in Academy Fantasia, the students are taught the two popular forms of art, which is singing and acting. So after Marsha Milan was eliminated from season 3 of Academy Fantasia, she actually went all in with singing and acting. So she not just dabble at one point. I think it's around the same time she's active in both singing and acting. So yeah, it's a bit inaccurate for him to say that she only started as a singer. But I do agree of his sentiment. She sucks before this movie. Thank you.
But then in this one, it feels like she took some acting class. She's really good. She plays the grandmother in the flashbacks, and she feels very like she feels at first is she seemed like very hateful and resentful towards the husband and very negligent towards the daughter, right?
And then there's more reveal.
Yeah, and as more revealed, she feels like just another lioness looking out for her cub.
Yeah, totally like mother like daughter.
Hey, she's really good in this one. I mean, like, she's terrible as an actor before. Terrible. Oh, God. You know, not even as a singer.
Yeah,
she
terrible,
did a rendition of Let It Go, translated, you know.
Bebaskan.
Bebaskan. Like,
For person, yeah.
What I mean is, she's never good in anything she does, personally. She doesn't have to like what I think of her. But in this one, she's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Which surprises the heck out of me.
And it's probably because of the presence of Aloy Paradox. So
Aloy. I forgot to.
So he's the lead investigator to call for the search of the missing kid. So yeah, he's one of my my, what do you call it? A person that I know, one of the persons that I know in the industry, and he's a theater activist, an actor, a writer, all of that. So
an actual artist, you mean?
Yeah, an actual artist. So whenever he's there, you can bet my ass the acting will at least be acceptable. If not like of the highest caliber, at least it's acting. So okay, of course, but he himself is just a serviceable character, but nothing off-putting or anything. But yeah, I guess he grind the heck out of Marsha to get that kind of performance.
So what you're trying to say is, whatever project he's involved in, they're gonna consult him somehow for acting tips, because he's gonna make sure that everybody does a good job as a class.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Aloy.
Oh yeah. There's this like a scene early on, of like I think it was another datuk that is kind of related to the datuk in this family, right? Like he died, so his wife is like started to run away, and she started to put stuff on the letter. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like to deliver the Rahsia, right? And that scene is like one of the best scene of a person scared for her life. I mean, okay, that actor too, I think she stole the movie for me. I think her acting is the best and the peak of this entire movie.
She's also a veteran. Her name is Susan Lancaster.
Yeah,
she's been everywhere.
I've seen her in other stuff. Didn't really care, but in this one, she's really good. Yeah, for some reason, a lot of people up their ante in this one, and I bite your ass. Even the person who played Hamdan maybe acted before, I never cared about him. At least in this one, he's serviceable, while everyone else is good to phenomenal.
Yeah, but to the kids are okay as well. They're not terrible. They're
good. I actually like the girl. The girl is really into her role.
Yeah, she acted before in one of those movies I subtitled.
You know her name? You know her name?
Her name is here. I think it's Nur Christina Raisha.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, good job, kid.
Yeah, they feel like an actual sibling.
Yes.
You know, I just remembered something like this, totally unrelated, mind you. But if you want to check it out later, there's like a skill up video on this one game. What was it? Like the Wolfenstein Blood.
Wolfenstein Young Blood,
something like that. Yeah, that's how you shouldn't depict siblings. We should know because we're siblings, as you might already know, right?
Yes.
So, this is how you write them. not that game. Yeah, totally unrelated. I'm just saying that there are works out there of people who I don't think had siblings ever before. A bunch of like people that are like, you know, siblingless, what do you call them? Like only childs coming together to write stuff about siblings without consulting actual siblings. So they a bunch of artificial stuff. Not in this movie. This movie is, I think that's really good. I mean, they did a lot of like that. Oh, that walkie-talkie shit. I mean, like, we've seen that before,
But it's
and
still cute.
it's cute, you know. But you know, I guess you have to put in. I mean, come on, look at this. This is like Castle Rock inspired font, right? Yeah, the same one that Stranger Things is inspired by. The everything that is like Tim Burton. I'm sorry, Stephen King, right? So they have to do the walkie-talkie thing, right? Kids do that, I guess. So they have to do it here because, like I said, it's not like this movie is gonna break or anything. So yeah, I think this movie is a good watch. Everything that is iconic in the movie,
In the original movie.
the original movie that you haven't seen before, and that you have seen before, are here, like in another form that is even scarier, and even more effective, except for the last part, and that I've been totally lost. So I can't really spoil it for people who didn't watch the original movie, who haven't watched this movie, who like know nothing about these movies. So I'm not gonna spoil it, I guess. But if you want to watch this movie, I guess you can check it out like somewhere in YouTube, but with real bad quality, or in decent quality. You can watch, like, subscribe to Sia or something. You can watch it there.
I think there's also another copy on Astro's platform as well. So yeah, go look for it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say, personally, I wouldn't say you should watch the 87 movie because it's a good movie. It's more of a reference. So when you watch this one, you will see how much of a masterclass this movie in terms of being like a reboot.
Yes.
It addresses everything. It does everything more effectively. And like, wow, this is awesome. So to me, as a reboot, it's a 10 out of 10. As a you know, as a movie that is like a scary movie, right? Is a 7.5. So yeah, I think this is really I would say must watch, but a good watch.
And for me, as a reboot, I mean, it's good, but it's not really like all that. And 10 out of 10 is quite high for you, I think. So for me, I would give it, as a reboot goes, this is an 8 out of 10.
I mean, let me justify that, right?
All right.
What I mean by that is that, like, okay, if you have something, right, and you want to make a remake or a reboot, you better make sure that you improve upon every single aspect. And to me, okay, let's say the original thing is not that great, right? But just improving upon every aspect of it is enough to make it, as a remake or as a reboot, yeah, a remake better, because reboot is, and you know, talking about like a whole franchise. But you know, like for example, you know about Resident Evil 3, right? Resident Evil 2, like they're both PS1 games. They make a remake, and you ask everyone, the game is way better than before, more than the graphical fidelity. They either make it from the ground up, you change a lot of aspects of it, and then you replace it with something better, or you reshoot everything but make it like more well written and everything like that. So to me, as a remake, it's perfect, just because it make like an improved version of what it was, and none of the aspects really is made worse. That's, to me, a good remake.
So yeah.
So that's a 10 out of 10. That's why I just
Alright.
that is my justification for a 10 out of 10 for a remake.
I guess as a remake for me, I think 8 out of 10 is too harsh, you know. So yeah, I mean, still high. So I guess I'm gonna give it a little bit of edge. So for me, as a reboot, it's a 9 out of 10. But as a movie, it's still pretty good, but could be better. So it's a 7.8 out of 10 for me as a movie. So, do yourself a favor. In cinemas, August 10, if you're around in Malaysia,
So
Singapore, and Brunei,
basically
today. So yeah, if you're around in Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei, then starting 10th of August, go watch this in cinemas.
go watch
It's
Rahsia,
pretty
man. Have
good,
a good
man.
time.
Have a good time.
So, we out.
Terkeluar. Peace to the Middle East.